You're sitting at your desk, running your company's network the same way you have for the last decade. Firewalls, VPNs, manual configurations, the same infrastructure stack your team has been patching, updating, and fighting with since before half your employees graduated. And then someone sends you a link. It's a demo, a Cisco demo, but not the Cisco you remember. No clunky dashboards, no IT guy sweating through 3 screens of terminal commands. Just an intelligent, self-managing system that sees threats before they happen, scales before you ask it to, and connects everything. Cloud, edge, devices, like it was all designed to work together from day one.
Let's talk about the real crisis hiding inside your organization right now. Not the one in the board meeting, not the one in the quarterly report. The silent one. Every single day, your IT team is making dozens of micro decisions, routing traffic, patching vulnerabilities, managing cloud environments, connecting remote devices manually, one by one, line by line. And every single day, the attack surface grows. More devices, more endpoints, more data moving between more clouds than any one human team can realistically monitor. Here is the brutal math.
So what exactly is Cisco Outshift? Let's strip away the marketing language and get to the architecture. Outshift is Cisco's emerging technology incubation engine. Think of it as Cisco's internal innovation lab, but one that actually ships products into the real world at speed. It is the division inside Cisco responsible for building the technologies that will define enterprise networking, security, and cloud infrastructure for the next decade. But here is where it gets interesting. Outshift is not just building incremental upgrades to existing Cisco products. It is operating like a startup inside one of the most powerful technology companies on the planet. Small teams, fast cycles, radical ideas tested against real enterprise problems. 3 core pillars define what Outshift is building right now. Pillar 1, AI native networking. Forget networks that react to problems. Outshift is engineering networks that predicts them. Using machine learning models trained on billions of network events, the system identifies anomalies, reroutes traffic, and closes vulnerabilities autonomously in real time. Your network stops being a static infrastructure and starts behaving like a living, adaptive organism.
Pillar 2, quantum-ready security. This is the one most enterprises are not talking about yet, and that is exactly why it matters. Quantum computing is approaching the point where it can break current encryption standards. Outshift is already building post-quantum cryptography layers into Cisco's security architecture. The companies that adopt this early will be protected. The ones that wait will be exposed overnight. Pillar 3, cloud-native everything. Outshift is rebinding Cisco's core capabilities, networking, security, observability, as cloud-native API-first services. This means no more hardware lock-in, no more rigid on-premise deployments. Your infrastructure becomes as flexible and scalable as the cloud itself. Now connect these 3 pillars together and you see the full picture.
Cisco Outshift is not selling you a product. It is selling you a posture, a fundamental shift in how your organization relates to its own technology infrastructure. Instead of owning complexity, you operate simplicity. Instead of reacting to threats, you eliminate them before they surface. Instead of scaling with pain, you scale with intelligence. This is what Cisco calls the Outshift doctrine, and it is the most significant repositioning of enterprise infrastructure thinking since the move to cloud. The companies that internalize this framework first will not just be more secure, they will be structurally faster than every competitor still wrestling with legacy complexity. Your infrastructure is either working for you or it is working against you. There is no neutral. Let's stop talking about architecture and talk about what this actually means on the ground. Because frameworks are only as powerful as the results they produce. Right now, early adopters of Cisco Outshift's technology stack are reporting something that sounds almost impossible to the traditional IT mindset. Their teams are smaller, their infrastructure is faster, and their security posture is stronger, simultaneously. Think about what that means for a moment. For the last 20 years, the enterprise technology world operated on an unspoken assumption. More security means more friction. More capability means more complexity. More scale means more cost. Outshift is breaking all three of those assumptions at the same time.
Here is a concrete example of what AI native networking looks like in practice. A financial services company running Outshift-powered infrastructure detects an unusual pattern of lateral movement inside its network, the kind of behavior that typically precedes a data exfiltration attempt. In a traditional environment, that detection happens hours later, after a human analyst reviews logs. By then, the damage is done. With Outshift's autonomous response layer, the system identifies the pattern, isolates the affected segment, and generates a full incident report in under 90 seconds. No human intervention required until the threat is already contained. 90 seconds versus several hours. That is not an incremental improvement. That is a categorical leap. And this is just the beginning. Because Outshift is not a finished product. It is a living innovation pipeline, constantly feeding new capabilities into Cisco's broader ecosystem as the technology matures. What comes next is even more significant. Cisco is already testing intent-based networking at the AI layer. Systems where you define the business outcome you want and the network configures itself to achieve it. You stop managing infrastructure altogether and start simply stating goals. Prioritize latency-sensitive traffic for our trading floor. Isolate all unrecognized devices connecting from outside our approved geographies. Maintain 99.99% uptime for these 12 mission-critical applications. The network handles the rest, autonomously, continuously, intelligently. This is the endgame Outshift is building toward, and the timeline is closer than most enterprise leaders realize. So here's the question you need to sit with after this video. Is your organization building toward this future, or is it still defending the complexity of the past? Because the window to get ahead of this shift is open right now, but windows like this do not stay open forever. The companies moving today will set the standards. The companies waiting will spend the next decade trying to catch up to those standards. The infrastructure you build in the next 18 months will define your competitive position for the next 10 years. Do not let legacy thinking make that decision for you. If you are the kind of person who wants to understand the technology reshaping the world before it reshapes your industry, this channel was built for you. Hit the subscribe button on Forecast Future, not because we ask you to, but because staying ahead of shifts like this one is what separates the people who lead change from the people who react to it. And drop a comment below with this. What is the biggest infrastructure challenge your organization is facing right now? Legacy systems, cloud migration, security complexity? Tell us, because your next answer might be our next video. This is Forecast Future. Stay sharp, stay ahead. See you in the next one.